Hello, I'm Don Wetmore of the Productivity Institute, and I thought I'd take a couple of minutes just to share with you the overview to the big picture of time management training today. And I go back in a little bit of our recent history, up until maybe the 1960s, we'll say. Time management was all about making up a to-do list and then executing it on the next day. And that served our purposes well. But since then, there's been five major improvements, if you will, in personal productivity training programs. And the first was the notion of, well, what do we do with our time? Sure, we have a good to-do list, but time management is not doing the wrong things quicker, because that just gets us nowhere faster. So the idea of adding goal planning and goal execution training and techniques so that we can target our time toward the achievement of things that will help us in our personal and our professional lives. And that served us well until perhaps the 70s, maybe even to the 80s. And then we began to look at how important it is to have the good cooperation of other people. So much of our personal productivity success is dependent upon the good cooperation of other people, which is not to say that if someone doesn't have the good cooperation of other people that they can't be productive. I mean, clearly they can, but maybe not as productive as those who do have the good cooperation of other people. And so we added on another layer of communication skills, networking techniques, helping to better manage expectations for mutual benefit, and indeed programs that help us to deal with difficult people who not only are not cooperative but may indeed sabotage our success. Then time moved forward and we began to look at one's individual attitude. Without a good, positive, expectant attitude, a lot of this stuff doesn't work. And I know people can do a great job planning the night before, and they show up at work the next day and they're ready to execute on that to-do list. They're ready to conquer the world, and they get one bad phone call, one disappointment, or maybe two and three in a row, and the whole day just kind of goes off kilter and goes into the bucket, as they say. And so we added in that layer of how to really understand how our emotions are created, the attitudes and the results of both positive and negative attitudes on our productivity, and how to best manage that. And then we moved into the area of work-life balance. Work-life balance and what I've labeled as the 7 vital areas of life. And they include things like our health, our family, and our financial dimension, but also our intellectual, social, professional, and spiritual dimensions. And while we won't spend equal amounts of time in each one of those areas, or time every single day in each one of those areas, if in the long term we're spending a sufficient quantity and quality of time, then our life is going to be balanced. But look what happens if you mess up on any one of them, never mind 2 and 3. I mean, take the first one that I shared with you, the issue of health. Do you know that there'll be about 2.4 million deaths this year in this country, according to the CDC, and 2/3 of them are within our control, dealing with things like heart disease and accidents and the like. And to me, if time management means anything, it means making some choices now, taking the time now, doing things that will increase the probability of having more time to manage at the end. We find that 90% of the folks who sign up for health and fitness programs, they stop going within the first 90 days, which is great if you're in the health and fitness business, okay? 3 out of 4 people complain on a regular basis that they're flat out tired. And I can put all kinds of tools in somebody's time management toolbox, but if they're just too darn tired to open it up, it doesn't do any good. So the notion of work-life balance became an important piece of personal productivity training. And then finally, here comes the information age. And so much of our personal productivity success is dependent upon getting enough of the right information, filtering through all of the stuff that's coming at us. We get more information thrown at us in one day than our great-grandparents saw in a lifetime. When you think about it, go back 100 years or so ago, what did people look at? A seed catalog or something, and today we're just flooded. And so one of the programs that I offer is called the Productivity Triangle, where we deal with good time management skills, but also deal with the ability to absorb information at much higher rates. We have a speed reading program that helps our students to double their reading speed and save a lot of time, or have more time to read more things. And then the other piece of the triangle would be the ability to communicate that information, both in writing and orally. So that's kind of the summary of where we are. but keep your hats on because it's continuing to change and improve as time goes by. Thanks for listening.